Hey, this is Rob Still, and I'm taking a break from mixing my record to mix some bread. And this is a new hobby I picked up recently, and I've shared it with friends, and I've gotten a lot of requests for the recipe. It's super simple because I'm just totally a beginner. So this is my recipe for beginner's bread. You take 5 cups of whole wheat flour, 5 cups of whole wheat, all right? You take 2 cups of regular bread flour, that's what's in this bag here. Just regular bread flour, all right? You take 2 packets of yeast. It can be rapid rising or it can be traditional. It doesn't matter. I've used both with equally good results. So 2 packets of yeast, all right? Then you take 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. That's the secret ingredient, if you ask me, all right? Now, you can add honey or sugar if you want. It helps the yeast a little bit, I understand. And also, 4 cups of hot water. This is hot water. Okay, that's 2, that's 4. All right, you can also add gluten if you want, but that's everything I put into it. Then you mix it all up. And mix it relatively quickly and get all those dry ingredients wet. And you know that I was looking in the computer there, and I found out that bread is in the Bible 410 times. I think it must be a really important food. In fact, probably the most important food that's listed there in the scriptures, because Jesus said that he was the bread of life, and at communion he said, this bread represents my body, take it and eat. When he taught us to pray, he said, give us this day our daily bread. So you mix this dough and the yeast and all this stuff here till it starts getting kind of dry, kind of like this. Okay, I got a little more mixing to do here. Big old wooden spoon does the trick. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Then I just clean off the thingy there. Ta-da. All right, then you cover it and you let it rise for a couple of hours. So I've got this convenient plate here that covers this, and you don't cover it all the way. You cover it so it's got just a little bit of air space there. And then 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. Let it rise. We'll come back and check on it then. All right. Record to mix some bread, and a couple hours ago we mixed up the ingredients, and now we're going to check and see what it looks like, and then we'll put it in the pans, put it in the oven, see what we got. All right, so I left it covered here partially, not all the way, and you can see the dough has risen. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, and now we don't punch it down, and I don't knead it either. All I'm going to do is pour it into these pans. Now, I buttered these ahead of time. I didn't want you guys to have to suffer through me buttering it with my fingers. And what I'm doing, the professionals probably don't do it this way at all, but this is the way I do it. I'm going to just pour a bunch of this in there. Try to get a nice, like about half of this pan full here, and I'm going to kind of cut it as it goes in there. There you go. And boom, come on. That's kind of all wrong, because a lot of the professionals, they'll pick it up and they'll manipulate it with their hands and stuff like that and make it look like a loaf, which what I'll do is just kind of try to form it here inside this pan. This one's going to be kind of a smaller loaf, but I just kind of manipulate it here like that till it gets to be, I don't know if you can see that at all. Yeah, sort of a bread loaf looking thing. Now this is a little small. I'm going to try to do the next one a good deal bigger. So that's one. And again, I don't like getting my hands all messy, so I just pour it straight in there. And I think maybe about that much ought to do it. So in you go. Boom. All right, yeah, now this one ought to turn out pretty good. This is going to, this is going to fill this pan, at least the bottom part of it, And I'm just kind of giving it some form, and that's all I'm going to do. And I forgot about this part, but we might as well do this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is cover these and let them rise for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that, and then we'll pop them in the oven. All right, so let's get something to cover them with. And we'll let that sit there like that, and then we'll come back and pop it in the oven. Okay, it's been about 20-something minutes, and I checked the bread right before I turned on the camera and saw that this was quite high, so this loaf has turned out quite large, and this one here has risen much larger than what I put in there, so that's kind of cool. All right, so we're going to put it in the oven at 390 degrees for about 30 minutes. So we put bread in oven, and then you put in the bottom of there, you put a pan of water. I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a third full, something like that. That's supposed to help the crust. Boom, we'll check it back in 30 minutes. Okay, while that bread's cooking, let me show you a couple of things. There was dough left over, and that's about how much it is, and I think that's enough for at least 1, if not 2 loaves if you make them small or large or whatever. This will keep for almost 2 weeks, which is like part of the coolest thing about this way of making bread. So you just cover that, you leave a little bit of it open for the gas to escape, and then you put it in the fridge and just get it out when you're ready to cook bread. Ta-da, and that's all there is to it. Okay, it's been at least 30 minutes. I had some phone calls, kept me delayed, and now let's check the bread and see how it's doing. All right, so smells good. Whoa, steams up the old glasses, and oh baby, look at that. Woohoo! That there is a work of art, man. Okay, so there's one. Pull them out, and there you go. And here's the little one, which actually turned out quite full-sized also. So there you go. Mama and Daddy. I'm gonna let that guys. All right. I'll let these guys cool off, and we'll taste some in just a little bit. So there you go. That's how to make beginner's bread. I've got this recipe. I wrote it down for you guys, and if you'd like it, it's free on my website, robstill.com. You can download a PDF of it, and you can keep up with everything I'm doing while I'm mixing the new record. I'm mixing bread, and you can be part of it. Okay, God bless you.